Hello everybody and welcome back to QuipScope. It's the show where we talk about a game that's just come out that we have been playing. My name is Ben.
And my name is James.
James Jenkins, you've been playing all of the video games this week, but the latest video game you've been playing is Forza
Horizon 5.
Horizon
That's
5.
the one,
There's
Mr.
a
Ben
lot
Potter.
of those
Yes.
Forza Horizons, aren't there?
There's a lot of the cars. There's a lot of the car games. There's a lot of cars in this car game.
I can imagine. It's correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first big Forza release to be on Game Pass?
I believe the last one, maybe not on release. Maybe it was before Game Pass was actually a thing, or certainly pushed as hard as it is now. But Forza Horizon 4 was very, it's a mainstay of Game Pass, and this is, like you say, very high profile. It's a huge day one release for him, and I mean, I'll sort of get out of the way now. Self-confessed, not a car guy,
right?
Not big on racing games as such, but that even for a filthy casual like me, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, really, really impressed with it.
It looks flipping gorgeous. I don't know if our captured gameplay may not quite do it justice, because not only is it captured, but it's now capped at 1080p and compressed by YouTube. But flipping heck, it's a pretty looking game. Yes, indeedy. It's so this one, as you might be aware, with the Horizon games do things a little bit differently from the mainstay Forza games. This is more of like the silly open world style thing. So it's an open world driving game. They usually take like a landmark area or country as it were. So Forza Horizon 4 was set in good old Blighty.
Yes,
this
I remember
one,
that. Yeah, where you could drive to from Edinburgh to the Lake District or to London in
4 minutes.
4 minutes flat. Yeah, new record.
Easy.
Speed run. So this one's set in Mexico, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a similar setup to the previous Horizon game, even down to the fact that it seemed to remember my name from when I briefly dabbled in Horizon 4.
Because you can set your own sort of call-out name, right? Do they address you by name?
They do. I picked a very boring, dull name, i.e. my name. So it's just like James
Gunlord.
Yeah, Gunlord 360 420 no scopes. Whoa. And I was like, how do you know my name? What is this? But yeah, you can there's like a few customization options that you can pick with some goofy characters. I made my guy look the douchiest I could.
Excellent.
So you'll see that if you're watching the video version. But along with that, by the way, I swiftly changed my name to Your Majesty.
Oh,
as well.
Did you? So
yes.
you're addressed by Your Majesty.
Yes, as is tradition.
Good.
But yeah, onto the actual game itself. It's more of the same, but just more of it. Okay. And everything is as you expect. It looks very shiny. It is very polished in that respect. It's got a little bit of that when you first enter in. There's like some Horizon Festival, and it just hits hard right from the start. In that it drops you out of a cargo plane whilst you're in the car, and you're parachuting in, trying out a few different cars, and it's instantly like, here, try out this, now try out that. Whoa, spectacular! Follow this plane, do a mad jump next to like an old Aztec ruin. Aztec, I believe that was their
possibly,
sort of geographical area. But it's spectacular right from the off. A lot of fun there, and then it just sets you off into the typical Horizon formula of it being an open world. There was I was going to mention earlier, there was a little bit of that how Riders Republic was very much like, whoa dude, radical, like sort of that speak. It's not that bad, but it's a little bit the shades of that,
right?
Thankfully, from what I remember of Horizon 4, it's not quite as bad as it was in the last game anyway, so that's nice.
Okay, well, that's good. So it's sort of like, speaking from a complete lack of experience, it's very much like a Burnout Paradise style open world. You drive around in whatever car you want and you complete challenges and races and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. It's basically that. And there's a good variety of challenges as well. So it's one of those that you've got different types of, off-roading or like quite stunt heavy, real sort of nitty-gritty street racing in amongst like the towns and cities that they've recreated there, or just sort of long, like a proper sort of race course style things. And a few extra sort of missions. So early on, you get to like the first mission, really, you get to pick from one of two things, and with the other being able to be completed later, of course.
Right.
But the first one I picked was like, go to this place, drive through a sandstorm, and take a photo.
Drive through a sandstorm.
It's standard, isn't it?
Cool.
Yeah. That was within like the first half an hour.
Right. Really just start how you mean to go on.
Exactly, yeah. And and not only drive through a sandstorm, take a photo whilst in the middle of a sandstorm. So it's
brilliant.
Perfect conditions, obviously. But yeah, it's one of those where there's a lot of different a lot of good things to do, and it's just a blast.
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
This is the first big exclusive Xbox have had since the Series X and S launched.
Yeah.
Do you feel that, because you've got a Series X, obviously, do you feel that it takes full advantage of the hardware? Have you noticed any frame drops? Is it running smooth? Is it looking as pretty as it seems it should be looking?
You know what? It runs as smooth as butter. So there are two different modes. This is pretty standard with the next gen releases these days. So you've got either performance or quality. I believe it's either like 4K 30 frames per second, or a more performance-based mode, which is like 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
At least that is the case on the Xbox Series X. It's also available on Xbox One and PC, and you probably have a lot more options on PC as well. Maybe not 4K on Xbox One as per standard, but yeah, it's I didn't notice any drop frames at all.
Okay.
I did switch between the two, so I might sort of do a quick comparison of the two footage wise. But there's even when you're doing it on performance mode, it still looks beautiful, and it's one of those things. A lot of the time, you have to stand dead still and just stare at like the textures to be able to tell much of a difference in the quality mode anyway. And you're not going to be doing that much. It's a racing game. You got to go fast. So
you do have to go fast.
Yeah, got to be faster. So yeah, it's very, very pretty. The one thing I will say is that so it being a Forza game, they want you to take lots of pretty pictures in a nice photo mode, which is pretty comprehensive, pretty decent photo mode. But I did notice, and even got it on one of the screen captures I did, that sometimes the textures took a little extra second or so to load in, which is a bit odd. But it's a very, very minor niggle in that respect. I mean, as far as performance goes, it's just tip top. So
excellent.
So in terms of cars, we've got a lot of cars.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned before, it's even for, a dirty, filthy casual.
Yes.
Even for a dirty, filthy casual.
Visual, yeah.
I said that again, so I can cut it out, but that's fine. It's fine. It's cool.
No, it's fine. Staying in.
Staying in there. Sweet. Keep rolling. Yeah, for a filthy casual, it's still a lot of fun. Actual car enthusiasts, like real car nuts, will go insane for this. Like, I feel like it's about, and I had to look this up. I scrolled through, like there's a massive list of potential cars you can unlock. Apparently over 500.
Wow,
that's a lot.
That's a lot of cars. That's, some might say, slightly too many cars.
Too much of car.
What are you going to do with that many cars?
Can you have too much of car though?
Well, I mean, I suppose the real question is, how easy is it to access and swap between the cars? Is it just a menu, or do you have to drive to a specific place to swap?
You can, it depends on what you want to do, really. I mean, you can just swap out the cars you already have, and with the right sort of customization on there, and then it's just instant. But you also have the option to like go to, and it fast travels you to the garage point in order to further customize it. And that's another point as well. There are a lot of custom decals and and tracks that people upload. So there's clearly a community that they've built up from day one. They've, must have included a fair few like developer created content, but also I did find a very snazzy livery that just changed my Ford something or other. I'm not a car guy.
Right.
The Ford something or other was changed to a lovely Jurassic Park Jeep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really nice.
Very
really nice.
Cool.
So yeah, and
Is
fitting.
It livery or livery? I've never known.
Oh bloody hell! Well, now you said that, I don't know.
I just assumed it was livery, but I have absolutely no clue.
It's livery.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. It's just
Please.
Loads of people typing the spelling for livery or livery. It's just the same. We can't tell the difference.
So yeah, I mean, to round off, it's one of those you really feel like it's the big hitter for Xbox that they've kind of needed, and even though it's a racing game and it's one of those that people who are fans of racing games will absolutely love it, and people that aren't racing game fans might sort of overlook it.
Yeah.
It's on Game Pass, so if you have that, it's more than worth a look at, because even for just somebody that's not too interested in it, I mean, I had a blast. I played it for like 2 or 3 hours or so.
Right. Okay.
So
you can just play it, just try it out.
Yeah, and it's just one of those. It's just drive around, have a muck about, look at the gorgeous. Did I mention a very gorgeous visual?
It's so pretty. One final quick question for you, because this is my problem with Gran Turismo over on PlayStation.
Of course,
is that I don't think a lot of the time it's very fun. Like, it's obviously some of the stuff you've described, a lot of the challenges they sound fun.
Yeah.
But in terms of how the cars control, Gran Turismo admittedly
more
markets itself as the real driving simulator. So it's meant to be realistic, which doesn't really connect with everyone, because, you want to play something maybe that's a bit more arcadey, and you can just pick up, cars feel slightly different, but
don't be tuning
they're easy enough to just drive, and they sort of drift, and you can be good at driving them quite easily. Is that the case with Forza, would you say?
Certainly, yeah. So it's a good point, because I had actually made a note of it. You have a lot of different options in terms of difficulty and how you have driving assists on or off, and you can change up all of those to make it as arcadey or as realistic as possible. I stuck more on the arcadey side, like I say. It was pretty much default, I think. So it defaults at quite arcadey anyway, but there's a little bit of... So if you're having the wrong car on the wrong sort of terrain, like a sports car, I tried to drive halfway up a volcano.
Right.
It was struggling for a bit, so I switched to the classic Jurassic Park Jeep. But it's one of those where you will notice the difference there, but you can change that to your heart's content. And like I say, it's one of those where I can imagine that if you increase the or decrease the driving assist and make it super realistic, it's one of those that absolute car nuts will love as well.
Yeah,
so.
Excellent. Well, Forza Horizon 5, more like Forza Horizon Alive, because the big Xbox Game Studios label's kicking into gear. Here they come. Here come the parade of hits, hopefully.
They've come back to life. Amazing.
They're here.
I haven't prepared for this at all.
Okay, go on.
Forza Horizon 5, more like Forza Horizon 5, more like 4-car Horizon.
Because of all the cars.
High five.
Whoa! Because it's
Boom.
about the cars, and high fives are inherently normally a celebration of good things.
That's
wow!
right.
What a deep and multifaceted pun.
There we go.
Play on words at the
we
very
did
least.
it,
I don't know if it's
I
a pun,
think.
but there we are. Thanks
It's
for
something.
listening/watching, everybody. We'll be back, I think, on Monday talking about Elden Ring, which is very exciting. It'll probably be James and myself sat here again. So until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.